Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, chat room, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to another Matchcast. Andy versus Obscure, Game 2, Semifinals coming up. All right, guys, tournament keys. This is now a keys tournament. We had inverted Keysanity in game 1. Now we have tournament keys in game 2. The good news is if it goes to game 3, there will not be a keys matchup. But it is what it is. That's what these gentlemen are going to be playing today. And it's going to be a fun matchup. Semifinals, two great runners, Andy and Obscure, of course, also known as Obscure Lifeform. Some quick intel to report, guys. I am on very good intel that Andy is actually not feeling too great today. Rip Andy. But if anyone can perform well when they're under the weather, I feel like Andy's the one. But just kind of figure I would kind of pop that out there. Ooh, match is starting. The timer's starting late. It's fine, guys. We'll be a couple seconds behind. No big deal. All right, Andy going to be starting here with the was it the Link's House start? Both our runners can get their first sword here. And just to kind of go over the mode real quick for tournament keys within this main tournament is that the Castle Tower keys and GT Big Key are vanilla. Everything else is going to be shuffled. Does he have crabs? That's a personalized question I just can't quite answer. That's going to be something that you have to honestly ask Andy. I don't feel well equipped at all to answer something that personal. Both our runners deciding to go with the Uncle start here. Not really too much, just the red root, the heart piece. And again, we got the early sword, so we are going to see Andy go ahead and option, at least for now, a tree pull. He might option to do the front of escape as well with that early sword. And that is actually what he's going to do here. Obscure's actually following suit here, maybe for the tree pull or maybe for the escape. No, tree pull. And yes, is going to go into escape as well. I feel like a very strong play here, guys. I feel like this is a great call, especially in that kind of early spot of having a sword there. Just kind of pop in. You know, you're doing it before Kakariko. You can run into good value items by doing this, such as a bottle, such as boots, such as flute, more bombs, more money. There's so many things you can find down here that you would like. And I feel like anytime you can kind of position yourself to check something ahead of Kakariko, that's generally advisable to do. So just a red rupee in the first chest. It is what it is. It's just more money, guys. More money, more cash in their pocket. It's gonna be no interest, but it's fine. Question chat: can Obscure sell himself to the CAC merchant? Depending on how you want to take that, I could. Wait, did he just like? Hold on. Was his hands like a spout of water? Alright, that's adorable, honestly. Memes aside, no, he cannot sell himself out to the merchant to actually give you a straight edge answer. The funny answer, I mean, you know, whoever stays in Kakariko, stays in Kakariko. Okay, guys, like I can't comment on that. Alright, it's just the compass in the second chest here. Andy heading on now down to the bottom cell chest here. The final boss here of Hyrule Castle, the ball and chain guard. Actually, it was the spread I used for a while, honestly, when I raced in like 2017, 2018. This when they had like custom sprites come out. This was one of the first options I actually chose to use. I thought it was like really slick. Andy gonna go ahead here for the Death Warp. Nothing in Zelda's cell. If you have to ask, you can't afford it. Matt, that is actually 100% correct. It's just one of those things, guys. You don't really talk about it unless you really know. You know what I mean? You can ask. You might not get the answer you want. All right, Obscure's going to take the Death Warp as well. Honestly, not surprising. And we're going to see both the runners go ahead and check out the Dark Cross out of logic here. But with that, armed with that sword is going to be kind of an easy play for them. You can, of course, use that sword to guide. You can use it to kind of kill the Ropas that are going to attack them very shortly. Those nasty snakes in that basement are not usually your friends at all. Unless they drop like bombs or something cool like that. But no good drops, honestly, either to kind of speak of. That 40 and 41 rupees there from both runners are basically just from like those 20 spots that we found both at Uncle and in the first chest. And just a 5 rupee pack here. Okay. So really not a whole lot to start off this seed. If I'm either or at this point, I'm quite disappointed on what I just found. And you know what, I'm just gonna... It's like Vegas, right? Like sometimes you go in, you win big, and most times you don't. And this is one of those instances. They're just gonna have to go to Kakariko. They only have $40 to their name, but it's like whatever. They'll be able to work around that. So we're at the point now where we're going in towards Lumberjacks in Lost Woods area. You're generally going to want to see at least bombs or more money here before you kind of go into Kakariko. We actually could see kind of an S&Q from Lost Woods area here into a probably just like a kind of a southern route where you check out those bomb tree pulls, get some bombs going. That gross tier 1 green rupee, sick. And both our runners electing to kind of go in and just not check Lumberjacks for now. They don't have a lamp, they don't have boots, don't have a master sword or cape, so they're just like, you know what, I just want to go this way. And he's gonna scout the crab here in Lost Woods though. Interesting. Let's see what it is. It's bombs. Okay, so that's really good. 8 bomb pack, generally one of the most favored packs in the game to get early. And that's going to solve Andy's bomb problem. So we're going to have to keep an eye on Obscure, see if he elects to check the bomb pack as well. And he is not. So he's going to be out on bombs to start here. The good news is he's almost there for money for bombs. But, you know, having free 10 bombs versus like spending money, I would obviously not want to spend my money in Kakariko when I'm this dry on funds. Because I want that money going towards the bottle vendor. I don't want to go south, buy bombs, and kind of waste a little bit of extra movement within the area. So Obscure's literally short a rupee here. So maybe, okay, I was wondering maybe kills the green guards there, but I think we just saw hearts off them. Andy's gonna give us the full complement here. Maybe Obscure just kind of goes in and lifts up this green rupee pop coming up. Hold on, let's see. Yep, they're just gonna lift up that green rupee pop. Okay, good. So I was watching for that to see, you know, the game knowledge, if that would happen. And sure enough, we do, which is great. The other thing we could have seen is, you know, you just open up the 4 chests. Small key to Turtle Rock, though, back here. So that would be kind of risky, but nope, that's okay. Obscure will get these as well. Let's not mark them off just yet. It's a little too early. But yeah, now the problem with Obscure's situation, right, is that unless they run into more money, it's going to be a tough sell for them. Andy kind of struggles to go through the well hole there. It's going to be a tough sell for them to get enough money for bottle vendor. Right, Andy getting a glove here. Red rupee. Okay, so there is more money in the well here, so that's good. It's not quite enough. Half magic. And we're gonna have a small key to pod. So our first pod small key is gonna be down here as well. Yeah, so in Obscure's position, you know, there's not really a lot of free money kicking around. So they're gonna have to decide. Oh, they're gonna have to decide whether or not they want to farm for bottle vendor. And considering what we just saw, they absolutely want to make that play. We'll see what's in Chicken Coop. It could be like a 300 rupee pack or more rupees. It could be a 50, 100. So hopefully it is, right? But it's just a compass. So yeah, Obscure's gonna unfortunately miss out on some potentially the lamp here. So I have to pay attention to see how they kind of decide to play this one. Kind of a quirky early play, right? Like, you know, you've had the runners kind of do the same early opening start. And it was something as, you know, simplistic as like, hey, I checked the northern crab here in Lost Woods and the other runner didn't. And, you know, Andy right now is reaping the rewards. He's having a faster Kakariko. And he saved money and had the bottle vendor. Obscure is going to pass on the bottle vendor for now. Interesting. We do see a small key on library, so that's something that we have to keep in mind for later down the road. And I was gonna say, wow. So I didn't see it. Maybe I have it overcropped on Andy's side, but I didn't see what he had. And yeah, see the small key there. Okay, what does Obscure do after Tavern here? So they are gonna get their shield. So are they gonna go ahead? Oh no, they're gonna leave that lamp behind for now. Okay. So this is an interesting one, right? Because hold on, let's see what this key is first before we kind of get into it. A Tower Hair small key. Oh, okay. So like early glove, early lamp pairing with that Harris small key. That could be dangerous here. We're gonna have to see how this plays out, but that could be really bad for Obscure early on. Hopefully it's not, but like, cause it's so early in the race, but ooh. Where my thought goes to is the lamp is great for two things. Like, you know, earlier the better. You kind of start when you see that lamp and you have that early start, you start thinking about, okay, where, you know, maybe it's Ganon kind of thing. But now we get into a situation where maybe Hera could come into play if we see like an early mirror or early hammer hook shot, right? Okay, so a tunic and a bottle. The first bottle here for Andy. That's a really bad spot for bottle. With glove being in Kakariko and the bottle being in back 3, so there's no real easy way to cash in that bottle. I feel like for Obscure though, the kind of flip side and the good point for them is that when they get enough money, now like, you know, the bottle check-in is not that bad, and it might like kind of weight heavier to them because now they're gonna see that bottle. Now they're gonna think, oh, I have bottle vendor as well. You know what? It's not that bad. Okay, so they're gonna get that as well, and Andy's gonna give us our first look of Dam here. Just 20 bucks in the opening of Dam. Oh, my mic volume is way louder than it should be. Thanks for calling that out. Let me know, guys, if that sounds a little bit better. Sometimes these knobs kind of change on their own. It's crazy. I don't know why. It could have been just when I moved my mic arm, and it might have adjusted the... So that should sound much better for you guys now. Okay, so the real question now is Andy gonna die to crabs? That's honestly what people want to see. But I'm gonna say with the sword and with blue mail, you guys are gonna be quite disappointed today. Like, drastically disappointed. I don't think there's gonna be a crab death today. I think there's very much gonna be a crab slaughter, if anything. If you're a fan of seafood, you know what, you're happy about that, right? But there's a lot of things going on here. So Andy getting those tight mitts in Moldorm, but we're also seeing Obscure go to the west side here and checking out the desert area. So we might get a desert scout here on the ledge, but no, we're just gonna see a direct play here to Agina. Okay. Interesting. Let's see what we get from here. Okay, Andy is down to 2 hearts, by the way. We'll just call that out as well. I have complete faith he definitely doesn't die here. Look at that little micro stutter too to avoid that rock. He's like, yeah, I don't want to die here. Just 10 arrows at the Agina cave, so that's a little unfortunate. And the crabs are playing nice. The crabs are playing nice. It's almost like Andy has paid him, you know, some of his Twitch money off those crabs. Just like, hey guys, leave me alone, all right? Like this has been enough. But yeah, Andy with the decisive 2-0 victory over the crabs. You know, game 3 being, if necessary, irrelevant because he would still be up that 2-1. So I was gonna say that was spooky. Little stutter there. That's okay. All right, Obscure gonna be able to get their Titan mitts now. If they elect to go to Ice Rock Cave, they're gonna be able to get Quake as well. And Andy's gonna do some sequence breaking here. We're gonna check out the Hobo area, I believe, and also scout out this Hylia Island. And we see a small key there. So we see a small key in the library and a small key on Hylia Island. And not necessarily where you want to see small keys. Like, small and big keys are kind of frustrating to find in these spots, guys, because they're unknown value, right? Like, generally speaking, there's so many small keys you need to complete a seed that you're like, yeah, I probably need to go here and just keep it in the back of the mind. But it's like one other thing One extra thing in the game that you can kind of forget. We see an early big key to TR here. Andy's going to say no to anything else. Going to check out on Hobo, which is fine. Doesn't have a Pearl, doesn't have boots, doesn't have flippers. Can't really do too much else, and doesn't really have money for Zora, so optioning that doesn't really quite, isn't really possible right now. Yeah, Obscure gonna go up and get there quick as well from Ice Rock Cave. Right, and Annie is gonna play Sahasrahla. 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 Right? Sash? Yeah. That guy. 3 items here. Also gonna get information on the green pendant. Green pendant for Dark Palace. Ooh, that's gross. I don't like your green pendant pod. I do like that Master Sword. I do like that hook shot even more. All right, so Andy's going up to the mountain. He's just gonna S&Q there. Right play, I feel, at that point. Scary gonna scout out the key here. Did not go to Hobo early, so that's big key missing for them as well now. Do you go Lamp? Do you go to DM first or EP? I probably do Sash to see what it is, and in Andy's case, I feel like it just makes sense to bail. But being keys, I don't really mind an early Eastern play. I feel like it's quite fine to do so. So kind of talk a little bit about the runners and kind of how they played through the tournament so far. You know, Andy's pretty much a steady Eddie when it comes to this stuff, right? Like he leans on his execution. He kind of plays like, I don't think he plays so much to the logic, but kind of has consideration of it and just kind of leans on, you know what, let's clear the game, let's clear it optimally. Obscure, kind of like from what I've seen in the limited capacity that I've kind of been exposed to them. Great runner. Plays, I don't know if it's aggressive or not yet. Like, I feel like it's kind of a mixture of aggressive and defense. But I also want to say, like, aggression is kind of what comes to mind with Obscure. And quite frankly, again, with a best of 3, I feel like that's kind of their wheelhouse at this point, right? Like, I really want to see aggressive plays from Obscure, right, at this point. I'm like always kind of that mind, like, yeah, you know what, I'm down a game. Let's kind of put the screws to this game and see what happens, right? I've lost my fair share of tournaments doing that, but you know what? It's kind of fun. It's like whatever. Lumberjack obviously was just that. It's a compass there. We see Old Man only having the heart piece. Andy, are you gonna replace the crabs with the boulders, dude? Like, I know you got the sniffles, but please don't die. All right, Obscure gonna also go up the mountain here. I feel like the right place, right time for the play, but a little awkward going up here without the lamp. So, again, Obscure's best interest, they do not want to see a lamp or a hammer, or sorry, a mirror or a hammer on this right side, because that would be not great. That would be not great. Because Andy with that small key to Hera, yeah, need I say more, right? That's a really dangerous check to kind of leave unchecked. Specifically when it's available so kind of early-ish, if that's what happens here. But I kind of see the stars aligning here, and I'm getting a little worried. I'm getting a little worried, chat. I don't think it's an Aga Pearl Seed, right? Like, I feel like this is a, you know, I might have something in Hera Seed. Small key to Swamp Palace found now, too. It's a very big small key to find. Of course, grants access into the dungeon. You have access to one chest in Swamp without that small key, but past that, you need that small key to be able to progress through the rest of the dungeon. Okay, so we get a big key here for Swamp as well. The pairing. Small key to Mire. All right. Bombs. Small key to Dark Palace. Okay. I'm definitely missing stuff here. There we go. I feel like that's correct now. So they'll get that, and that. And they'll get that. Okay. There we go. We're even on the tracking now. All right. Just a red rupee here on the Lonely Island. And we're going to see Spiral Cave for the first time here. So, we've already seen the escape play too. We don't really have much left. We've seen a Ganon on Obscure's side. So we're down to really Spiral and Zora. So I'm quite intrigued to see what's at Spiral here. Aghanim is in logic because with tournament keys, right, those small keys will be vanilla. We see a small key to Ganon's tower here. Okay, so it could be a play where you honestly just have to climb Aga Tower for like a pearl or for like a hammer or whatever, right? So Andy's kind of weighing his options right now. He's going to go to Sank here. Has the bottle, so I feel like this is going to be the bottle check here. I don't think it's going to be a Houlihan play. They're really shy on rupees, but that's what they're setting up for. Okay. I want to say this is risky, honestly. I want to say this is risky. And the reason I'm saying that is committing to this is quite lengthy in time. Like, you have a bottle check here. And then I have the Zora check. Me personally, I'd probably lean more towards that bottle check. I 100% believe Obscure will play that bottle check first, just because they haven't done Bottle Vendor. But then they're going to see the lamp and be like, oh, God. Which honestly is good for them. So, yeah, it's good for them. They should have that small key too. I should mark that off. All right, Andy's actually going to go to Eastern here. Okay. So, Houlihan in preparation of Zora? Question mark. All right. You can get more rupees in Eastern. That is true. It's a little bit of a time sink. There's only 90 rupees available in there. So it doesn't quite fit the bill, but if you're already in there, it's kind of nice. That's a nice little 20 rupee there from the Octorok. Was that the stun pack, actually? Ooh, if that's the stun pack, he's going to be living big. All right, stun pack 20 is really good in this situation. All right. That's really good for them. So we're going to see Eastern for the first time here. Obscure going Sanctuary as well. Again, I feel like this is Bottle Vendor and Bottle Check. Eastern is actually a pendant here. And we get more money for free. Heading towards that sword check. Okay. Yep, Obscure is going to go to the west here, heading towards Kakariko. Andy making his way through Eastern Palace into the second chest. Which, you know, luckily with that hookshot in hand for both runners. LOL. They'll be able to just kind of hookshot right here on this chest and avoid a couple extra rooms. Really thought this was Pob with this palette? Yeah. It's not ideal. All right, well, Obscure got their lamp. Let's see what the bottle is. If the bottle is Pearl, interesting. Both had the option to check this a little bit earlier. And it is the Pearl. Okay. So where I was going with that, if they actually checked it earlier, they would have had that for Death Mountain as well. And be able to do that Dark World Death Mountain play. So Obscure will be the first one to Dark World here. So advantage Obscure on the early point. But let's kind of see what develops here in Eastern. Nothing so far. This, of course, being a pendant dungeon as well. Ooh, we got a lot of information here. So, all right. TR is a Fatberry crystal. Swamp is a crystal, so we do need those flippers. And Thief Sound is a crystal. Okay. Okay. But yeah, Eastern being a pendant dungeon, it's unlikely that Andy kind of chases back unless there's like a later pod and mirror combination kind of going on with the, you know, Bone Eastern Bicky. Where Obscure, in their instance, like, they've gotten that Pearl. It's almost like they kind of have a cleaner path away from that at this point. So we'll kind of see how this develops, but I think that's going to be just a straight loss for Andy at this point. Unless there's something great here. We'll kind of hold our comments until we see what's here. And just arrows. Yeah, so I feel like that's just... And it's going to eventually just be a straight loss, I feel. We'll see. It's also dependent if, like, Obscure knew that Eastern was a pendant as well. That also could play in. And I believe they mapped earlier and would have saw that. So yeah, I feel like that's just kind of off their radar. It's not really appealing at this point. Andy is heading towards Zora ahead of the bottle check. Okay. So it makes sense considering the Houlihan stuff going on. But at this point, they're gonna kind of hope that they get something good, because I also want to call it that they still do not have their referral. And what that means is now they won't be able to check the waterfall checks, right? So not really great, but is flexing on this stun pack to get those 20 rupees, which is great. Maximizing time, not having to go through like any of those other kind of rupee farms. We see the third pod small key here from Obscure in Skull. So, you know, traditionally that room's called the pot prison. I actually call this room that Obscure's in now the pot prison, just because you kind of get locked in and there's tons of pots. But I know it's called the pinball room. I get it, but like I'm just like, I know it's more of an observatory, like a zoo, if you will, right? In that little pot prison. But I can see how you would call it a prison too. It's kind of a cute name, right? It's one of the good names for Link to the Past. But yeah, nothing really else in Skullwoods for Obscure. And he's splish splashing his way to Zora. I don't... Oh, I saw potentially something good. I see something really bad at Zora. Oh god. The feels bad is real right now, guys. Unfortunate. So yeah, so Andy is going to be a bit behind here, entering into Dark World. Obscure now have fully completed early Skull. Has gotten bumper scouted out. Now at Village of Outcast, Andy's just about to get his Pearl. So one play that I can see could change the tides is like, say, how early does Andy decide to go to Dark World of Mountain, right? Because that is an extra option they have. They can kind of just decide to split right there. Traditionally speaking, I don't see a lot of runners do that these days, especially in Keys. Myself personally, I like doing that early because it's Keys. I always like to be armed with more keys earlier the better. So that's just kind of where my preference lies there. I don't mind dungeon dips. I'll kind of attack them appropriately, but generally speaking, if I have like good dense overworld, I kind of like that. And Keys does suck, guys. Thank you. Appreciate that. You love to play it, you hate to race it. That's how I always say about Keys, honestly. Alright, so the Noble Fish. Heading to that third chest in Thieves. Small game Misery Mire. Alright. And just a heart piece there for Obscure for the fourth item. We'll have to set up a Death Warp here. They do not have the Vicky, nor does Andy. So, you know, if Andy does choose to do this pathing as well, they're essentially just gonna have to do the same thing. Keys is great, especially in SMZ3. Incorrect answer, honestly. Incorrect. I disagree. Andy with the hook shot clip there through the block. We're going to see 100 rupees there, plus 3 bombs for the chess game from Obscure. Andy with the Death Warp there. And for some reason decided to free the bee in the pinball room. I don't know, maybe trapping it there forever and all of time. I'm not sure why they would decide to do that, but they did. It's okay. We get a cape. Okay, so if there's something good at Bumper Ledge, which I think there was, we should see Obscure pivot north now. And yeah, they're going directly north. So there was something good there. It looked like a big key or a sword, guys. I'm going to be honest. I don't think it was a bow, but it was a really quick kind of flash on my screen. Now, sometimes you'll see like a red rupee and you're like, oh yeah, that sucks. But like when you see like those really interesting items. Oh, it's a hammer. Oh yeah, that's kind of pog, not gonna lie. It's just a wee bit pog. Yeah, Obscure gonna get their hammer. That's definitely a great item. Andy, do you scout Bumper Cave? Oh no. Oh no. Andy with the classic game 2. Andy is Andying the game 2 again. It's just these things happen, guys. Oh god. All right, so Andy's gonna miss out on that information of the hammer. Meanwhile, Obscure is gonna enjoy their prize of the early scout. Interesting to see if he gets the cape and just kind of decides to direct send there and see what happens, but that's a bit of a time commitment from an unknown, especially from Distillery. I'm not saying it's not reasonable to do there. I'm just saying I'd be a little surprised if they did it. We're gonna see hammer pegs here now from Obscure. Okay. Maybe cape will not nudge him. Maybe it's a reminder. Again, just like if you have boots, I feel like that's a no-brainer. Yeah, you just check it. I feel like walking is kind of it's kind of rough. It's kind of gross on like the time spend scale. It's pretty bad. Just bombs there. Just bombs there on the hammer pegs. Okay. I love chat. Excited for tomorrow's game, anyone? It's not over yet, guys. It's not over yet. You know. Again, straight lost time for Andy was Eastern at this point, and Zora. The hammer is the unknown spank, right? So, like, we'll see how badly he gets spanked, dependent on what he does after that cape. If he decides not to follow up once he sees that cape, then that can be rough. And Andy being on full health is actually going to exit Thieves Town the vanilla way. I feel like time-wise it's pretty neutral for what his health is, so that's fine. Nothing at the dig game. Okay, I feel like that'll be a major storyline of this race, depending on what Andy decides to do in the next 10 seconds. Obscure's going to be able to give us a look here now of the Stumpy. It is a small key. It is a Skullwood small key. And Andy is going to say goodbye to his chances of winning game 2. Got him. Owned easy every time, chat. Oh, I'm going to hear from the YouTube comments about that later on, I'm sure. But you know what? We'll see what happens, guys. But that's gonna smart. It's gonna hurt. Alright, well, we're gonna see Hype Cave here. Andy with the most excited music I've ever heard of for a dig game. We're gonna see a big key here for Skullwoods. Gross. Okay. So nothing really in Hype Cave either. Okay, so you have 3 small keys. Pendant pod situation. You have Darkwold, Death Mountain. Obscure's at least potentially going to check the bomb shop here for information. Yes, they are. So past that, where do they go? Do they go to the pod or do they go to the mountain? Turtle Rock and Tower of Hera. I feel like the mountain is now the play, but no, they're going to actually trend towards pod. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Andy getting a small key to Skull there. Look at that big key too from Hype Cave. He's bringing the frog along for good luck. Godspeed, frog. Godspeed. And before they last locate TR big. It could happen. But I feel like, you know, getting flippers, it's a stronger drive to go for flipper locations than, say, getting cape and saying, oh, yeah, I gotta check pumper cape now, right? It's just a really bad spot. I feel like if that's C-shape house, I feel it's almost a no-brainer to go check out bumper cave. But Distillery is, like, 15 seconds away plus. So that's a 30-second ad. Just getting back to where they were position-wise, plus the extra travel to scout out to bumper cave, so... It's almost like you're spending 45 seconds in a round just to kind of see, hey, does this cape lead to anything? So maybe they're just hoping to find out later. Hilariously enough, it does have this Smith. It actually does have a play here to check out Skullwood's big early with this route. And I feel like if you go back into Skull, you're going to Bumper Cave. So maybe it's not that bad. Let's see. Maybe it's not that bad. Yeah, Obscure gonna go ahead and pay off the Kiki monkey here. Cost of 110 rupees flat. Get into this dungeon. I don't know if the Hyrulean tax board knows about this operation. It's not my place to kind of snitch on them, so I just kind of pay the rupees and I'm good from there, right? So shout out, ain't no snitch. Oh, Smith, big key, Ice Palace. Okay. Generally a good big key to find here. Another nice item here, Obscure getting the red cane in the shooter room of Pod. Okay, so that's the first chest there on the left side. So that's nice. But again, what's also nice is a 3 small key pod. Like, you can do so much in here. Generally speaking, I don't really... Ooh, Andy's gonna go into the dark room. Okay. Generally, I don't really like doing this without the big key at this position, but I don't mind it. Like, you're gonna get a lot of chests here. Andy's gonna go for Skull Big Chest here, though. I do want to call out. He's going into the Dark World. That's what he's gonna get there. The flute in Pendant Pod. Okay. Okay. Everything's coming up Obscure right now. You'll love to see it. I felt like they got kind of unlucky, I want to say, with how game 1 happened. Oh, but there's the competition. The book in that big chest. We got Bombos in the Terrapin room and Pop. We got items flying everywhere, guys. Andy is gonna check the Bumper Cave. The Andy stands rejoicing right now. Hands in the air of the celebratory fashion. We have another TR small in the dark room and Pod. The Fandies. Oh my god, he got it. Obscure burning the last key here on Harmless. Okay, you know, I don't mind it. Gets another key to Pod. That's so clown. Okay. You know what? You don't have the big key. You don't have the big key. You don't have a bow. You know it's a pendant dungeon? They're gonna spend that. They're 100% gonna spend that key on the front section there. 100% gonna spend the key there. I wouldn't save it at this point. I know it's green pendant. I know you get an extra item, but really though, you're not gonna want any of that. All right, let's see what's in the dark maze. The lock behind 6 keys. Just the bombs. What? Oh, I would never make such a mistake, guys. I would never make such a mistake. Alright, nothing in the dark maze. Okay. Hammer Peg's coming up for Andy. I almost called him Fandy, guys. See, like, my vernacular's now switched directions. Obscure is gonna rightfully play that that other chest now that's locked behind 5-6 keys. We're in the Twilight Zone a little bit. Looks like we had a little bit of a stream hiccup. That's fine, it'll correct itself. But yeah, we're gonna get this check here. And again, it is the rightful play. You know, in that position, pendant pod. I don't have a big key, don't have a bow. Let's check it out. Andy gonna get the purple chest here. We're just gonna see a heart container here, or a heart piece here in pod. All right. I think it's the rightful play, honestly. I feel like this is the good play. Small key to Turwalk. So 2 small keys to TR in pod. So Andy will have to do pendant pod at that point. This is 100% a required play by logic. So on top of which, you got a flute. Mire is in good standing to potentially be a crystal. We don't know the last pendant here. Andy, why are you... What are you doing? Okay. Oh, the other TR small. Okay. Okay. So, depending on mirror positioning, and if Obscure decides to do Smith's purple chest, you know what? Lava chest maybe? Question mark. Yeah, Andy did a dump. Guys, again, Andy's not feeling the greatest today. I'm not gonna give him that hard of a time. I am gonna give him a hard time, but I'm not gonna give him that hard of a time. All right. I think that's the better way to say it. All right, Obscure setting up for Mimiclip without... This is kind of weird. So they're not actually holding onto the wall. I don't think I've seen it like with buffers like this outside of holding the wall here. So it is working. They are kind of getting the, you know, the Mimic and or Goblin Ogre, whatever you want to call it. So they are almost there. And Andy's going to go in the desert. Okay. Yeah, he's got the sniffles. Okay. Right side pod. Blue cane. All right. Spike cave implications potentially. Another small key. Skullwoods, useless. So the value here is that flute into the 2 TR smalls. So those 2 TR smalls are required. That flute's probably going to be required. Obscure's next play here is the obvious one. It's going to be cashing that flute. We're going to spin that wheel, guys, at Mire. Let's see what that Mire shed has today for us. Andy, meanwhile, not finding anything really of value in desert. Adios. And Andy's going to go to the mountain here. Okay. This is not ideal for Andy on how this routes. Again, and this isn't me nitpicking. This isn't me like saying Andy's doing the wrong play. It's just unfortunate, right? Because, you know, generally speaking, I feel like this is a play I would do, is where I would go to Death Mountain. But we know, you know, through the power of hindsight that like you'd rather have the small keys to pot or to TR. Because with all those small keys to TR, you can just kind of go as deep as possible. Not only that, but that red cane is in pot as well, right? So if you have the medallion, you're kind of just like doing both, right? You would just do Dark World Mountain. You just excavate TR while you're there. But yeah, we're going to see Obscure kind of go ahead and check out the Desert Ledge first, and we'll flute back. Andy is going to position to Hera first here. Hera being a crystal dungeon, having that hook shot. We'll be able to do everything but the big chest. Solsky completely forgetting that red cane was in pod. I did say that red cane was in pod. Get owned. I just talked about red cane. Heart container on ether. Mire was Quake. Okay, so they have access to Mire. All right. That's not what I meant to click. Red rupee bombs in Mire shed. Gross. Red rupee in the Hera basement. Gross. Obscure trying their darndest to swim into the pool. Realize, unfortunately, they do not have the flippers. Yes, even fish need them, guys. Even fish need them. And we're going to see them dip into Mire. Okay. All right. Don't mind it. No big key, though. That's kind of the unfortunate. We don't know if it's a crystal or pendant yet either. We do have one more pendant to kind of locate out. So I don't want to say this is kind of risky, but it's kind of a good play to kind of flex, right? Like you've gotten that flute from pod in what would be said as kind of an arguable position. So I feel like just going here is just kind of leaning on that flute find, right? The sooner the better you can get here. Potentially the better chances that you think as a runner from their perspective, hey, maybe I can win this out. A pod small key. Okay. So a pod small key here in Hera basement. All right. He's setting up a very quick Hera pot there. The bufferless. Mirror in Mire. Oh my. We are getting close to the quintessential god route here, guys. This is quite This is quite the path. And you can't blame them, right? Like, they optioned the early pod with 3 small keys. They optioned Mire with the flute early. But they're going to reap the rewards on this 100%. And there's a lot of time saves we haven't seen or experienced yet either from this route. Like, again, call out to that Red Cane, call out to those small keys for TR. They're just going to be able to go to the back of TR if they want to, whenever they so choose to go to Dark World Mountain, right? So... Alright. We have the vanilla big key chest here, just being 10 arrows. Mold arms, just got a piece of heart. First crystal, Andy. Tower Hera. Alright, so Andy has 2 options here. He can either go... Does he have that option? Yeah, he does. He can go Spike Cave here, which he's actually going to do. Okay. Or he could have went to Dark World Mountain. Interesting ignoring Dark World Mountain for now, but I guess while you're already here, you might as well check out Spike Cave. Could always SQ to check out Dark World Mountain first, or could option the pod. So we'll see how this one goes. Still nothing else really to speak of in Mire. Let's see what's in the Spike Cave. Ether. Ooh. Okay. Could be required. We don't know what TR's medallion is yet. Andy is going to go to the mountain again. Okay. So this is where I feel like Andy doesn't know it, but this is definitely something he doesn't want to do. It's definitely something he doesn't want to do. Granted, what's in pod. Obscure now going to go into desert with that newly found Mire. Just kind of scout out, see what's in there. We're also going to see a checkerboard play from him, also with that Mire too, which is nice. So again, items are kind of in the right spot here for how Obscure's kind of tackling the seed. All right, now Andy's going to be opening up the TR pegs. The reason why you would want to take this route here, when you've already kind of been up the mountain, is generally speaking, you're hoping to find Red Cane in the next 6 chests. Now we know we're not going to find that, but I'm more interested to see if Ether is required here for TR or that Bombos. It's double Quake today. Okay. Double Quack. Ether not required. Bombos not required. Bombos might be required for ice. I should kind of correct myself quite quickly there. So. Okay. Obscure now going to go ahead and get back into the dark room here. Has the mirror, so maybe thinking Smith's purple chest. Could also localize into that Skull Big chest as well. But they're going to say no to the Skull Big. Andy is going to get their Fire Rod here. Again, this is not great. Finding that here outside of pod. The reason why that's not great is that's going to lead to the Skull. It's going to lead you maybe to ice at this point, right? It's not ideal. There's so much Andy needs to kind of pick up on here that Obscurity has. We need a pod dip to get those TR smalls, that Red King, that flute. He then needs to go to Mire to get that mirror. And the longer Andy plays at this position, not going to these dungeons, the more chances he can get information or maps to kind of say, okay, well, what happens if Mire's a pendant? Does it like kind of drive his decision making away to like say an ice palace without flippers? It's hard to say at this point. Right, Andy's going to Sank here. It's gonna go to the back of Skull. Okay, looks like Obscure did check out that Skull Big chest as well. And they're making way to the Smith's purple chest. All right. So it's 48 minutes in. Obscure doesn't have a crystal to their name yet, but I mean, that spread of items is kind of nice. That spread of items is kind of nice at this point. They will get their book at this point from the Smith as well. So with so many early small keys and the big key to TR, the early cane, the early access point, the early fire rod, I feel like TR is going to have the goods. I feel like it's going to have the goods here. What is this series at? Okay, so earmuffs for anyone that doesn't want to get spoiled or just don't read chat for like the next 10 seconds is currently 1-0 for Andy. Alright, so yeah, Obscure checking out that Smith's getting the ice big key. Is now going to be able to check in that purple chest. Andy going ahead here to the back of Skull. We're going to see K45 here for the first time as well. Fortunately for Andy, so we'll mark off that Skull is also a crystal. Does not have that mirror, so we'll have to kind of do a Death Warp here as well. Okay, so it's between Ice Mire and Desert for the last pendant now. Chat, feel free to correct me there and just be like, no, Solski, it's this dungeon. This dungeon's the pendant. But don't lie to me, ever. Don't do it. I'll take names, guys. I'll do that. I'll do that. Alright, so there's the final small key to TR. Still doesn't have that big key, though. It's kind of a big point. But yeah, so you're going to be able to check out Bombos. Something Andy was not able to do. Pretty good moth fight here from Andy. A really nice moth fight for Andy. Getting those hammer hits, positioning the moth right over those kind of blocks there so it wouldn't hit into the spikes and negate the damage. Nothing at Bombos for Obscure. So you're just going to float to 2 here, presumably just to get some safeties. It's kind of weird to play away from Zora here, I'm going to call out, right? Like, you have the money for Zora. I guess you only have the gloves in Logic, but that's a big money commitment, right? Okay, they're going to go to Hoba now. All right. Andy seeing the information there, the crystals and pendant. Oh, no, they're going to go to Ice. I was going to say, I'm like, are they going to Hobo? No, they're going to Ice. I was going to say. Bombos. I was going to say, chat, I'm like, that's some soul read stuff right there. I was thinking along the lines maybe like Waterfall Cave because of the pearl. Like a little bit of a later pearl. You kind of like to, you know, skamaz Waterfall Cave sometimes when you can. It's a pretty free, early, easy 2 checks. So that's kind of like where my head was also gaming. So I was like, where are they going? But yeah, Ice Palace. Big key to Thieves Town in Ice. Oh my. Guys, the saga continues here. Oh my. Just continuing to put the hurt on Andy. Andy's got a lot to catch up on a lot of bad spots here. I don't think it would be that bad if like the Eastern play had something there too. Okay, Obscure's gonna be able to do a nice little clean icebreaker here. Sees another big key for Misery Mire. Oh. Heart piece for Andy. at the Quakefish. Andy has to go to pod here. Small key for Desert for Obscure. At the H room. The H room. Andy's got to go to pod here, guys, or he's just gonna get the beat down. All right, I'm gonna call it now. He has to go to pod now. There's not really much left for him to do, anyways. But my lord, please send him to pod. The good news is for them, at least for Andy, it's gonna be direct pod, direct to Mire, and then what do I do next, right? Yeah, it is actually a mandatory pod. Freezer check coming up here from Obscure. Just another map of this dungeon. And we do see it is a crystal. So this is a required dungeon. So now it's between Mire and Desert. Okay. For the last pending crystal switch here. We have that ice pick. We can check that big chest here. And Andy is positioning towards pod. He needs to do this play here. Hyrule Castle small key for Obscure. I don't know how I feel like if I'm in Obscure's position here. Like, I found a lot of good items, but I don't know, like, how it's kind of working out for me in terms of a race, right? Like, and how I kind of look at that is that's 54 minutes and I'm still crystalless, right? These things do happen from time to time, but man. Now, granted, they're going to be able to get a lot of crystals pretty quick, right? But again, you know, if I'm Andy, the season's not going great, but I got 2 crystals. So at least I'm continuing towards the goal. Whereas if I'm only finding items, I'm not progressing towards that end goal of dungeons. It's all great, but I still have to go back, right? So, but Andy's going to have to make this mandatory dip in the pod. Has 4 small keys. That was my fault. So they actually will find the 5th small key here too. Undoubtedly will do all the pod here. Meaning they're going to get the full complement. We'll get their red cane now. So, Andy's now going to have a conundrum to kind of solve at this point. Is, at this point, you get everything here in pod, right? So it's, again, we'll call it the 2 small keys. I hate beating you guys over the head with this. The 2 small keys, the TR, the red cane, the flute. This is actually a really good kind of learning example. Andy has 2 key decisions. We'll call it 3. He has in logic Mire now to explore with this flute. He has in logic TR to kind of climb back up to with all the keys minus an ice rod. And then he has Ice Palace as kind of a buffer option. It's like a 3rd one, right? So I'm kind of split where they're going to go next. And it's really hard for me to kind of think of what would be the right call here. Given the fact that they've been to Dark World Death Mountain already, I want to say Mire might be the wiser decision. That being said, I definitely, again, it's almost like a 50-50. All right, Ice Palace completed. Cold Stare, nicely done by Obscure. Hammer, Master Sword. Excellent. First crystal. But the way this one's trending, we're probably going to see flippers and TR. And then it's almost like the free option in the swamp, right? And then swamp bow, question mark? Maybe you get lucky, get like a bow and TR, ice rod and TR. And the sea could just be like over at that point. Obscure is going to go into... All right, where do they go? Do they go hobo or do they go waterfall? I feel like they do both if they're going to commit to this. No, they're going to go for the Skamaz play. They're going to go just for the waterfall. Okay. Not ideal for them. They're going to miss out on that big key to TR. Okay. Yeah, TR big is at hobo. And he getting his blue cane here. So what is at this waterfall cave? Just the green pill. The green pill. I can't believe I just messed that joke up. The blue pill, red pill. Really? How, though? Why? God, for a split second, now I know how Barbarous King feels. Okay. Obscure getting the scout here on the Zora ledge does not have the money, so he's gonna have to say no. That's why I felt it was really weird they got the bottles filled and didn't kind of elect to go towards the Zora play here. But yeah, no, they're gonna go head over here to hobo. Okay, yeah, you have the water walk state. Okay, yeah, no. is going to have that TR big. So if I'm in Obscure's position, what they've done already, Dark World Death Mountain's a no-brainer. Hera, Dark World Death Mountain's a no-brainer. They don't really have much left outside of that. Like, they have a little bit of overroll that Andy might have done over them, but, like, you know, I'm in a Obscure spot. I'm feeling pretty good. I got my first crystal finally, sub-hour, thank God. But I got so many good items. And I have such good density coming up in that Dark World Death Mountain play. It's really hard to ignore. And we do see Obscure go ahead and S&Q here to the old man. Andy getting his clown pod key. I believe Andy will get his 4 TR small as well. No! Obscure's going back to Mire. Okay. Okay. They do have the Desert Small now as well. So that is something they have. Do they have information that Mire's a crystal? Or is this just like we're just full sending? We're just full sending in. Okay. In we go. This is what I was talking about, guys. This is the aggressive play from Obscure that I've seen in the past. And this is the thing. This is like, you're down a game. This is how you have to play. This is like their wheelhouse. This is what I want to see. All right. So we're going to see the Mire big chest into Vidi, I imagine. Could be a pendant, but, you know, it's 50-50. If it's a crystal, it's so good for them. It's so good. Andy, cashing in that flute. Oh man, that's the feel that again, the feels bad story of the seed. It could have been the hammer, but I think largely in part, and thank you to that skull big at Hype Cave, that kind of saved him. I'm not gonna lie, guys. They would have got that hammer eventually, but oh boy, would that have been rough. You know, I almost wonder what would happen if Andy didn't go to that hammer spot earlier. Like, I feel like he goes to pod earlier and then gets that flute. But then that can also send on a pretty bad tangent anyways, right? And yeah, we do see Andy going with that flute. Is going to elect to play the Mire area. Okay. I don't hate it. And I feel like this decision is driven by the fact that he's already gone up and gone to Dark World Death Mountain. So I don't hate the play. Gonna get his junk in the Mire shed. The junk in the trunks. God, I love that. I love that sprite work from Obscure's fish. Anytime he picks up a pot, like it's got that water spout. It's pretty amazing, honestly. All right, Andy entering into Mire. But just how this seed's developing, I almost feel like it's almost over. Feels to me like it's almost over here. All right, Vitreous fight coming up for Obscure. Has cape, has Master Sword. Should be a pretty kind of free fight. As we see these eyeballs just getting decimated by the Master Sword spins. We're also getting Master Sword spins on the main eyeball as well, which is nice. And yeah, it is going to continue to use that cape. Just going to play it a little bit safe here, but that's okay. Just do a couple slashes north. With the eyeball, you can do two positions here. So you can do this one. Or you can kind of, I like to kind of form the eyeball into like a figure 8. It's kind of just how I learned it, and it's kind of what I'm comfortable with. But there's absolutely no problem with the way Obscure did it. And it's the final pendant, so Desert Palace is the last crystal. So we still need that Desert Big. Okay. So Obscure showing that they're human. Does not get the value in the Redipped Mire. So this is good for Andy. This is good for him to kind of level back out. Let's see what's in this desert right side. Andy does not yet have that Desert Small. That Desert Small was in ice. Misery Mire Big was in ice. Thieves Town Big was in ice. Like, so much was in ice. Flipper locked, right? So again, that's why I'm thinking TR, right? Flips and TR is almost a formality at this point. Nothing on the right side of the desert. Okay. Just mark off boomerangs. Just keep it clean, guys. Keep it clean. Yeah, Skier gonna go ahead towards Thieves Town, I believe, here. So follow up to Thieves. Okay. That'll be their third crystal. Well, their second, actually. Because Mire was that pendant. I'm really intrigued to see what Andy's next play is coming up. Does Andy elect to pop himself into ice out of logic, or does he follow logic and play the TR? Okay, is maintaining the mirror here is going to be able to check out checkerboard now. Skier making their way through the Crystal Thieves. And let's talk about how our runners are bootless here. Kind of sucks. I feel for them. 104. Lots of dungeon dips. No boots. Sag. Not happy about it. They aren't either. I can tell you that much, guys. But it is what it is. Is what it is. Perhaps they're here. Perhaps they are here in Thieves. Andy fluting. Where are you going? He's going to Ice Palace area. This is good for Andy. This is good. Gonna go waterfall. Oh, yep. I was gonna say just scooched a little bit past there. Red mail for obscure. Okay. And the attic chest. I like to call it the sunroof. I think it's a better name. If you don't like it, too bad. The fish has like weird colors now. Do you guys see that? It's kind of like a, it's like a spotted fish now almost. It's got some like, what's that color again? Like it's like an eggplant color almost, like aubergine. I don't know. The solarium. Yeah, that one. The solarium. That's the one. All right, Ice Palace coming up here for Andy. This is the correct play. We know there is the value here. The value being that Thieves Town big key. That is the big one. We'll find that Mire big as well, and that's going to be interesting to see how they decide to play that. Boots! There they are. We're in there, guys. Oh, thank God. I'm starting to get worried there. All right, guys, I'm just taking a quick breather, sipping on my tall blonde vanilla latte, not a sponsor, and enjoying some unadulterated speed on obscure side with that boot. Oh, baby, you'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. First phase blind, easy. Second phase, easy. Quality speed. Misery Mire Big Key, found for Andy. Blind, dead for obscure. Second crystal going to be in hand momentarily. Heart container found. The fish mouth is open for that crystal. Where do you think, guys, the fish puts the crystal? I guess the crystal just kind of floats up. But, like, you know, they carry it around, right? Like, that's what happens. I'm just asking the questions that you guys are all thinking about, all right? I'm trying to just get this out there. Oh yeah, that's right. We do have this small key here on the library. I don't think there's really any little, unless it's Thieves Town small, I guess. I feel like there's not really too many good small keys left. Yeah, so just Mire here. Because the other small key I know of that's kind of locked away somewhere is Hylia Island, right? The flippers are in Castle Tower. Cannot be in Castle Tower. Tournament keys has vanilla Castle Tower small key placement. Ain't finding them there. Obscure actually gonna check graveyard. Gonna check the boot locations. Okay, smart. Smart. That's all good. It's all good. We're all learning here, right? Everyone makes mistakes. It's all good. No, this is smart here. Okay, we got the boots. Let's check out Titan Mitt's Bonk Rocks, King's Tomb, and Graveyard at the same time. Okay. Like it. This route's into Quakefish for Obscure too, if they elect to go there as well. We're just gonna see bombs here at Bonk Rocks. Andy is electing to do full ice. Now knows that it is a crystal. So going to slay those puffs. What do you guys think when you see Cold Stare? Like, what do you guys think, right? Like clouds, cotton candy, tooth decay. Like, what are you guys thinking? That's what I want to know. Compass here in Graveyard. Okay, nothing. The Kirby boss. That's not a bad one, honestly. I never really thought about that. Kind of missing the spikes. But, like, yeah, I get it. I get it. Big key. Oh. Hera. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's spicy. Okay, so Obscure more than likely going Mountainside. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna go Mountainside here. Okay. Obscure does not... No, Obscure does have the TR Big key. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna get rid of that one. Because I remember they water walk there. So Obscure has Hera access now. Full Hera access with that big key. Has not done Hera, so we'll be able to full clear it. Look how fast that fish is moving. It's so good. So that's something we need to keep an eye out for. Andy, where are you going next? Where are you going next? So all we're really looking for, guys, at this point... Oh, he's going to Mire? No. Oh, this could be it. Uh-oh. This could be it. This is the lack of information I talked about, or potential information. I feel like if Andy ran into a map of Mire in any of these checks, that would save him a lot of time here, but fortunately has not run into that information. Yikes, dude. Okay. It's really unfortunate for Andy, but it is what it is. We are going to see the Herp piece here for Obscure. Are they going to play her basement? Looks like they're just going to set up for the hair pot here. Oh, does not get it. Oh, they do have bombs. I thought they didn't have bombs. They ran out. There's a quick swap away. I don't want to say it's over, guys. I just want to say that it's not ideal. It's not ideal. It could be a position where they're thinking maybe they're feeling a little behind and they're trying to make a play. But it's just unfortunate Obscure made the same play, right? So it could have been like that net loss from Eastern kind of goes away with Obscure playing Mire like this with the double dip. Solsky, how long to adjust the sprite dimensions for bomb jumps? What? I have no idea what that means. You mean like positioning and stuff? It like varies by runner, right? Some might do buffer setups like myself, like most runners. Andy can do it bufferless. So it kind of varies, right? The thing that sucks is like when you waste time on the first setup and then you have to wait for the bomb fuse and then explodes, puts you out of position. It's just a straight loss, right? Andy going for Spooky here does not get it. I don't think he had an instilla value, unfortunately. Yeah, Obscure finished with Hera now. And we'll be heading on over towards Dark World Mountain and TR. Undoubtedly, again, this is where my head's going. This is like a crash course for flippers in TR to, like, you know, my quote-unquote go mode in ice. And that's like a go mode however you want to look at it. Are you looking at mimic clip possibilities? Then you don't need a bow because this is the rare double pendant hot eastern. Is it like obviously your ice rod? Is that what you're meaning by that? Depending on where you get your items, like, do you get your ice rod first, or you get a bow first? So depends on what TR decides to throw. It is a very lengthy dungeon. It is also a very chest heavy dungeon. So my money is we find flippers at the minimum here, and then we might even find go in ice or in TR. Sorry. All right. Obscure getting their fire rod here in the Dark World Death Mountain Hookshot Cave. Andy getting Vitreous killed. He dead. He gone. Alright, Super Bunny coming up next for Obscure. I feel like there's not much left for Obscure, so they're gonna more or less just kind of pivot into TR at this point. And they've routed this really well. Really well. Nice. Both runners found that one. Let's just mark it off. Because why not? And yeah, Obscure is going to go travel into TR now. So we're getting our first look at TR. Andy, calm down. All right, there's no need for that, boy. There's like, what are you slashing for? What are you slashing for like that, huh? No one wants to see that. Obscure first chest, the spike chest in TR, nothing. Again, all the small keys, has Fire Rod, has the ability to do all 12 chests, has Mimic as a +1, Andy going into Thieves. Gonna find the boots here in Thieves. You know what? Boots, anyway you slice it, we're gonna be the late this seed anyways, so it's fine. Like, you can argue, yeah, Obscure was to boots earlier than Andy. I don't think that's really relevant. I think Obscure is early to a lot of things than Andy, right? So I don't think boots are any part of that equation or conversation at this point. Oops. It's my fault. There we go. All right, chain chomps. What do we got? Small key. Ice Palace. Gross. Not required. So at TR as well, if they, you know, do find Ice Rod here, we're still looking for Desert Big. We're still looking for flippers. Fat Fairy? Question mark? Maybe. It all depends what the next item's going to be, because it's basically our A or B go mode. Andy is one chest away from boots and happiness. I should add. He's gonna see those boots. He's either gonna groan or he's gonna be like, thank God. All right, lava chest here. The flippers. 4 keys required. The clown, dude. Oh, the clown. Send in the clowns. Hold on. I got a horn for this, guys. Where's the horn? Where's my horn? Oh, there's my horn. It was hiding. That was pretty clown. Not gonna lie. Andy getting his boots. All right. Now we get the unadulterated speed from Andy. That's a pretty rough spot for flips. But it's also a good lesson on how, like, the right sequence breaks can like matter in a seed. Both our runners did it today, which is great, because honestly, the seed would be ass if they didn't. Like, it would suck. Specifically moving around in pod. All right, so small key there for Ganon's tower, so that should be enough for Obscure now. Okay, line is complete for Andy. Again, has a 4-3 crystal advantage, but that's going to change very quickly. So you're getting that irrelevant desert map. Already know what the crystal pendant layout should be. And that was based on both of our runners getting that Vitreous kill and seeing that pendant rain down. And I get it, right? Like, I feel like, again, just going back to that real quick, is that you don't have that information. That's kind of where your head's going. You're like, oh, well, maybe I should just do this in case it's the last crystal. So. Andy's going to follow up with 45 here. I don't think he checked Graveyard yet. Has not checked the boot location stuff yet either. Yeah, probably just wants to clean up this stuff. It's, I want to say risky to do all this overworld stuff now, but I feel like it's nearly impossible to ignore it. Like how late the boots were, how late Mire was. It's like impossible to ignore at this, where you're in this position. Like if you skipped all this stuff, you'd have like balls of steel. Not gonna lie. All right, small key Thieves. Oh, there it is. All right, chat. All right, chat. There's a bow. Do we just go full clown here? Do we go full clown? Do we have to go back to Thieves? Obscure setting up here for a mirror warp save. Okay. Okay. So how this operates is they're going to want to mirror here and basically kind of get a save and continue going on. Or they can just flute away because they have that. But they want to leave that position there. So like if they don't go back into... as long as they don't S and Q, they can maintain mirror positioning. So if they save and continue, they're good. But if they save and quit, they're ripped, basically. And obviously, as long as they don't mirror, they can maintain and save that warp. Obscure is going into Thieves' big chest. Oh my god, dude. This is as aggressive as it comes. This is the good... No! What is this? No! They're out! Oh! Okay. They're like, I don't want to... Use the mirror! What? What is going on? I'm so confused right now. What is happening? They just burned the mirror warp. Oh my god. Oh, that's a meltdown. Okay. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think they're just like, oh crap, I have back a skull. And then like panic set in. Oh my, that's bad, man, though. Like losing that mirror warp, that loses minutes. Okay. Okay. This is the raise content I wanted to see today. All right. That is 100% the jitters though. Like, is Andy back in it? I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're there yet. But that certainly helps. If Andy does mirror warp, if he does preserve the warp here for TR, then it's going to save him a lot of time. It's going to save him a lot of time. Is it enough to put him ahead? No, absolutely not. Because it's going to come down to what Andy's next option is past TR. I can tell Andy doesn't like this seed. He is not happy. I can tell. I personally wouldn't either, especially in a semifinals. But it is what it is, right? It's the mode. All right, so we got the moth fight coming up here for Obscure. Everyone's grooving to the music. Obscure could go to Eastern? That's true, but I don't think that happens. I'm going to be very honest. I don't think that happens, but maybe with a bow. But he doesn't have... Eastern's big. Yeah, I don't think they go into Eastern. I don't think they go. Like, they're very much set on going to Thieves big. I would be very surprised if they don't go there next. They would 100%. Like, that's why I was like, why Thieves big over that? But yeah. That was crazy, man. Okay, so I think that's why they were like, all right, the hell with the mirror warp. Oh, we're gonna see the pet. I don't like it because, again, no Eastern big. Well, let's see what it is. Rupee Horde. Okay. You know what? You're already here. It's information. Don't mind it. And we're going to see Swamp here from Obscure. Okay. Said, you know what? Obscure's like, Thieves Town big chest? No, that's Clown. I'm out of here. Oh, what a fantastic moment. All right. Obscure now trending towards Swamp. Thank Christ. Like, honestly, though, like that, if it panned out and Thieves Big was like the winner, I'd be like, wow. But yeah, this is 100% the right. If you were to ask anyone, this is 100% the right call here. Let's go to Swamp. Andy now getting their flippers. Gross spot. Grossest ever, honestly. But the runner should know, or at least had a really good, strong kind of guidance that flippers were going to be in TR based on like what was in ice and kind of how dated it got towards TR anyways. Obscure getting another bottle here. And should have two as well. So still no tempered, still no silvers. Still no ice rod. So we are missing Desert Big and Ice Rod. Those are the two primary items now we are looking for to finish this seed. That is it at this point. That's all the runners need. They do know being tournament keys, and just a friendly reminder, they do not need to look for GT Big Key out in any of the overworld, in any of the dungeons. It will be in GT somewhere in the lower portion before the climb. So they have to do that. Obscure making their way through the flooded chambers and swamp. Andy, about to get his cat jam on. If you're not familiar to how Andy operates in these next kind of rooms, he loves to cat jam on the platforms. And if you don't know what a cat jam is, just watch and listen. Desert Big in swamp. Okay. Another small key to Ganon. Okay. No left side yet for Obscure. Smart decision, honestly. You're in a crystal swamp here. You might not need to kind of leverage yourself away from potential go mode items, especially items that are in path towards the crystal boss. Just bombs. Red rupee in the flooded chest. Ice Rod still at large. Andy getting the bow here in the back. Is saying no to the mirror warp. Goodbye. Goodbye. It's probably direct to swamp. Yes, it is. Andy going right in. It's not time for T. That's not GG yet, guys. Relax. It's not GG yet. Obscure has an advantage, yes. but is not GG yet. If we do not see an Ice Rod here in Swamp, you know, Obscure very well could dip Eastern. Obscure can very well dip Eastern. Could go and beat Helma, right? Could go to Helma, could go to Pop Big. Could go to Thieves Big, and it's nothing. Like, we have to wait to see how this one develops. And even then, they're not that far behind on Andy's side. It's just dependent on what he decides to do next. Very nice finish off of that fight by Obscure. With the triple Fire Rod hit to the spin. That was really well done. Well positioned. Well crafted. But yeah, Obscure getting their 5th crystal. They also have a really easy segue now into Desert. Honestly, I would not be surprised to see both runners just bail on left side. Obscure is going back in. Okay. Okay. Honestly, I would not fault anyone for skipping that left side here. I also will not fault anyone for going back in. This is such a difficult decision to make. Like, it looks instinctual and it looks like, oh yeah, they know what they're doing. This is a really hard call to make at this level of rando, guys. In like a racing tournament, like a main tournament. It's a really tough call. Especially in Obscure's position, like they're down a game. This is like, when you make this play, this is like, well, I hope to hell it's here or I might be toast. Like, that's what you're thinking. At 129, you're 5 crystals in, you still need an item for go. You still have other options out there. You have an early Eastern play, right? These are the things that kind of go through your mind and you're like, I really hope it's here. All right, Andy's about to get their Desert Big Key. Critical Big Key. We do need that to complete the seed. And Andy will also go direct here to Argus. Again, smart call. Obscure, about to hit that left side. Guys, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what's on this left side of Swamp. Dare I said this could be the seed here, dependent on like what is here and what Andy decides to do. This could really just shape how this race forms and finishes. We have a heart piece. We have an Ice Rod! Left side Swamp. It is critical that Andy does that. I just don't know if he will. Oh, that's so big for Obscure. They're now on the path. It's direct Desert, direct to TR. GT and go. And he's got to make one last tough decision here. He doesn't have great options left. What a call by Obscure. Andy does not have great decisions left, guys. We might see him. I will be surprised if he says no. Andy trying to get that triple. Does not get it. Andy with his 5th crystal. Guys, this is it. This is it. What does Andy decide to do? He's out! Oh, wait. Wait. This isn't bad. This, guys, no GGs. Stop. This is Bombos. This is not bad yet. I'm holding out hope very faintly. Stop with the GGs. All right, chat. You're in a timeout. You're in a timeout, chat. Daddy is going to lock the room. I've warned you. All right. Respect my authority. No, stop with the GG emotes. Stop! You guys! Oh my god, I wish I had a bot for this. You guys are the worst. Oh, I've been so clowned on. Alright. I'm scared when desert complete. Andy gonna go right to the back. Oh man. Alright guys, well game 3 is scheduled tentatively for tomorrow at noon. We'll see if that still plays out. Andy, again, is a little under the weather. So we'll see if he's kind of up to snuff. Oh, you guys are the worst. Thanks, appreciate that. Disobeying me, like, I can't believe you guys would do that to me. Unbelievable. You know how I feel about the early GGs, and you just kind of like, whoa, we'll stop typing it all right, dude. Can't believe it. Man, shoutouts to Obscure how they routed this. They played it well. But oh my god. Do they route it well? Oh my god, do they route it well? Obscure going into TR for their 7th crystal. Andy is now going to have to go to Desert Big Chest here at this point. Follow up. But if you kind of pay attention to the timings on how everything worked out, it was really that Eastern play going back to the early game, right? Obscure not playing Eastern and Andy playing Eastern early, playing Zora early. Very time sensitive checks, right? Like very time consuming checks. Obscure was able to stave off from them for the whole race. Three, 4 fish flops to Ganon for a dry to come back. How strong is the plot armor? Well, everyone knows the plot armor doesn't cover the ass, so yeah, it's not happening, dude. Sorry. My apologies. I'll just kind of let you know now. You know, I like dramas and all, but I'm more of a Matlock guy. I'm not like... Oh god, here comes Hera Big Chest now. Yeah. This is the everything but left side swamp here. Okay, there's the her container in Hera Big Chest for Andy. And here comes the pod play. We have the hammer, we have the Helmosaur play, we have the pod big chest. After that, I believe Andy's actually tapped out on what he can do. Well, obviously green pendant too from Helma, but yeah, not a whole lot else. Obscure about to get their Trinex kill. Let's mark it off early for him. They got this. Pod Bicky showed up a while ago. It's definitely been tracked this whole time. Definitely been tracked. Look how stoic the fish is right now. Also, I gotta pay more attention to the hammer strikes on this sprite. Is it like coming out of its mouth? Is that what's happening? Is it like its fin? Is it going like I don't know. I gotta see it more times. I'm also intrigued about where those crystals are going. I'm still asking the question, guys. I'm still not getting straight answers here. Don't think about... I gotta think about it. There's not much else I can think about at this point. Obscure dashing their tail fin over to GT. Honestly, 7 crystals in, 138 entry-ish to GT is not bad for a key seed. I feel pretty good about this entry time, but it's like, on the other hand, it is semis. You kind of never know. You're always kind of, you get a little nervous at this point, right? You get a little nervous. Regardless of how well you play the seed, your opponent can always play exactly how you played. So it's one of those things that kind of is in your mind, like, I don't think they're feeling behind, but I don't feel like they're feeling far ahead either. And there it is. The big key to Eastern Palace. Oh, that's so good. Go back, guys. You gotta go back and see what's there. It can be GT big, right? It can't be GT big. I'm just memeing on you guys. That's pretty troll. That's pretty troll. God. All right, here comes Helma for Andy. Still no big key for Obscure. Gonna have to probably go right side here. Yep. Okay. Big key question mark? Big key question mark? No, not on right side. Pod's done. All right, Andy, go get your eternal reward. That's the Hashrala. Be kind of pog if it was like silvers or tempered, but at this point, it's a consultation prize. Like, you're like, yay! Oh, it is too. It's tempered. All right. You're like, yay! Still, that's the point. Like, it's, you would very much prefer the ice rod there. Consultation prize, consolidation prize, whatever. You know what? Whatever, guys. It's a prize, all right. Like, we'll just call it a prize. Here comes the Thieves big chest, dude. I'm having flashbacks to when I played Andy at SGL. It was top 16. I think it was like the first round of brackets, and I played exactly like he's playing right now, where you're basically just kind of going through the motions, avoiding your go mode item. Consternation prize, constellation prize. What? Now you guys are just memeing me. All right. Now you guys are just memeing me. I don't think anyone wants a constipation prize, right? There is the big key to this dungeon. We did it. What is this free? Hello? What is this? That's so clown. All right, well, free tempered is on the house, dude. You know, it's like Ganon was setting up some kind of arrangement for Obscure. He's like, okay, sir, thank you for choosing, you know, Ganon's Tower for your luxury stay in the Dark World Death Mountain Estates. You know, while you pick up your room key here on the rando room, you can pick up your free Constellation Tempered Sword. That's kind of our thanks for choosing Ganon's Tower. God. All right, Annie is now making his way to left side swamp. Yeah, it feels bad at this point. I get the play. I get both plays. It's such a tough call to make in a game 2. For Andy, I feel it's easier to make because you're already up that game. Like, now is the time to gamble in his position, right? So I get it. In Obscures, I get it as well. It's such a tough call to make. It would have been really exciting if we saw both runners play off it, because then like Obscure goes to Eastern, you'd think, right? But it was not meant to be. But like, how about that U-turn from Thieves? Oh boy, howdy. The Benny Hill music and theming was real there. Okay, I'm gonna redirect the audio here to Obscure. I should have done that a while ago. I know you guys like your cat jams. But we're gonna hear the classics now, okay? The cat jams are gone. Yo, DJ Spray, thanks for the bits. Appreciate it, by the way. Appreciate you. Obscure going through the torches. One puzzle. A little low on magic, but doesn't really matter. Andy making their way to the left side swamp. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Oh, little spider walk there from Obscure. You'll love to see it. Yo, are these silvers? Powder. Oh, wow. Okay. Easiest safety. God, I love that pickup animation. I really do. God, what's in this? Okay. Just the compass. He gone. Andy now. 16 hearts. There's his constellation prize, guys. There's the ice rod. All right. Oh, look. Ice rod. Can't believe it. All right, Andy making his way to TR. He kind of, at this point, he knows, right? Like, he knows. Okay, Obscure's just missing the triple there. It's really unfortunate. Nice double. One more should do it. Really awkward positioning on this. Oh, so it was just a double-double. Okay. Oh, yeah, it was a double-double. I already called it out. Yeah. My bad. All right, the pig is dead, but not really. It's just the bat now. So that's how things work in Hyrule. It's okay. Don't worry about it. And a goose is just going to take you to the, you know, the top of Sears Tower. I don't know. Ganon's pyramid. The golden pyramid. However you want to call it. It didn't even look like the duck was kind of carrying the fish. It's like he has his mouth open. He's kind of sucking at that point. I'm not going to lie. It's like, how else is he staying attached to that duck, dude? I don't know. Yeah, guys, get your hope in chat. Your Andy hope in chat. He's gonna make it, guys. Trust me. God, that emote's great. All right, Obscure on phase 3 again in here. We should see spins coming up. Yep. There is the last portion of phase 3. So now, of course, they don't have silver, so setting up torch glitch. Great. That was pretty much the last barrier entry here now. And now we just gotta get those 12 spins out of the way. try and get for triple. Didn't really like the look of that one. That's okay. Just gonna go for the double. Okay. Should be the last spin here. I'm incorrect as always when it comes to Ganon. I don't know why. Ganon like counts are like my kryptonite. I cannot count for this boss fight to save my life. There we go. One more cyclone phase required. But that's gonna do it. Obscure is gonna even up the series here 1-1 against young Andy. Taking this match with a official time of 1:49.00. See, I started the timer late, guys, and it was basically right on the money. That's the biggest pog ever, all right? It was like a 1:49.00.5 is big pog. Good game, though. Andy is going to decide to toss in the towel, get some rest. Prepare for game 3. Tentatively scheduled for tomorrow. We'll see how Andy feels. And if they decide to kind of keep going through that matchup, hope for the best, man. He's feeling better. We got our winner, Obscure, 1-1. Routed this one really well. The key callouts to this one is no Eastern from Obscure. The no Zora one was surprising, but the Thieves Town, Benny Hill, just the nope out. That was great. That was great. I don't think in the grand scheme of these things, like, I feel like they could have done all that and it still would have been fine, just because skipping off on that left side swamp, it's just so time consuming to do everything else. It's kind of like a pay to win model at that point, right? Like you have to pay the price on, yeah, I got to skip the swamp, I'm not going back, and now I have all these other plays, and I get it. So yeah, good game to them, good game to Andy, and excited to watch game 3 here coming up soon. But that will be for another day, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed. I've enjoyed your company as always, and I will catch you guys for the next cast. I'm just gonna see real quick here though. Let's just take a peek see. I want to see something. Oh no, he's done. Oh no, he's still going. Oh, perfect. Where's he at? What is this? What is this? Okay. So I was checking to see how young Dante was doing. Guys, Dante was playing a Link to the Past randomizer seed on his dance pads. And he got through it pretty quick, actually. He got through it a lot quicker than I thought he would. But he's done that. He's actually doing Super Metroid with it now. So we're gonna toss over a quick old raid to him, all right? Show him some love. Do your thing. This is the good content, trust me, guys. All right. We're gonna let the credits play out first. But again, thanks for joining, guys, and I'll see you for tomorrow's cast. If it's tomorrow, if not, I'll catch you guys for the next cast. Take care, everyone.